Hi everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at installing the bulk ink adapter for the Mutoh 661. Just as you can see over my shoulder, oh, there we go, over here. Let's take a look. Alright, so we are going to put together and install the bulk ink adapter for our white ink into the printer. So the bulk ink comes in this box here, and you have the card, which is going to be installed into the adapter, and then we have the bag of white ink here as well. And you'll see right here, this is where it's going to actually plug into the adapter. So go ahead and pull these guys out. And when you're pulling the card out, you want to make sure that you do not touch the contacts there. If you do, sometimes it can actually mess up the data stored on the card, so just be kind of careful with that. We'll set these guys aside. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is assemble the light guard, and this is going to go over the bag to kind of keep light from actually getting to the bag and possibly causing the ink to cure. So to put this together, we're just going to fold it into shape. Just like so, and then it'll be put together like this. So go ahead and pull this off. Get it lined up and pressed into place. Like so. And now we'll get the top folded. Just like so. So that is that part. Now, the adapter itself. So this is where the card is going to sit. So we just take the card, and on your cartridges of ink, you'll know that this the contacts is located near the front of it. So all you do is just slide it down in here, and you want to make sure that it's seated down all the way, and it has little tabs right here that'll kind of keep it into place. Next, go ahead and take this out. Next, we're going to put the bag of white ink in there, but before we do that, we just want to do the agitation, so that way we don't have to do this later. And you just kind of tilt it back and forth about 20 times, it says, to get it all mixed up. Alright, I think that should be good. Alright, so now that we got the ink all agitated, we have the card installed. We are going to now put the bag into the adapter. And you'll see right down inside of here, we have these flaps that open up by pressing this handle down. And so we want to push this down to open this up, so that way we can get the bag seated down inside of there. And we also need to pay attention right inside of here where the keep rests inside of there. We need to make sure that we get that in the proper spot. And you can see right here down below, it's not good. It's not seated all the way, and you could possibly have leaks. You want to put it down so it rests above here, so that way it's fully seated, no leaks, you'll be good to go. Also, one other thing, we have the stickers that came with it, so we want to go ahead and peel off the sticker for white, and we'll just stick that right here on the back side. So we now know that this is the adapter that we need to use for the white. You do not want to interchange the adapters after you use them, so you do not want to use the one that's for white later on for varnish or any of your other colors. It could actually cause the inks to mix inside the printer, which could cause a huge problem. I would not want to deal with that. So let's go ahead and get the bag installed. Alright, so we'll go ahead and pull this lever down. Try and do this in a way where it's easier to see. So with the white bag, we want to go ahead and pick that up, slide it down inside of there, and right there is where the needle is. So we want to go ahead and slide it all the way down, and we can see right there, right here on the back side, we now have that keep in the right spot. So that way the bag will not rise up and possibly leak, and we won't have any issues there. Alright, so now that we have the card installed, the bag is now seated down inside of there properly. The last thing that we need to do is put the light shield over it. So it just slides right over and will nestle down inside of here, just like so. And that way no light will possibly cause any issues with the ink or anything like that. Next step is to go ahead and install this in the printer. Alright, so this is our white ink channel as described right up here, and this is where the adapter is going to go. One thing that we're going to need to do, since we just installed this, there's no ink in the tube right here going from the bag over to where the needle will actually pull the ink into the printer. So we're going to need to do a couple, I think it's 3 long cleanings, and that will help prime the line and then get any of the air bubbles out, and then you'll be good to go. So you just do, like I said, 3 long cleanings, and then do a nozzle check, make sure everything looks good, and then you're up and running. So we'll go ahead and install this, and it'll slide in exactly the same way as your cartridges do. So you just slide that right in there, and that is it. Now, as far as the printer goes, there isn't anything that we need to do inside of the settings inside the printer. This is actually plug and play. So it's the same as if you're putting a cartridge in, it'll recognize it automatically. The only difference is on the cartridges, you do not have that plug that needs to be replaced, but on the adapters we do. And so within the printer, it'll recognize that you're now using the adapter by having the card that is for the 500 milliliters for the white, and then for your other colors and the varnish, it's 800 milliliters. So the printer will recognize that and it'll know it, and so when you're using a adapter with that card in there, it'll automatically start taking time off from the life of the plug, and then when that 6-month period comes up, you'll actually get a notification here to replace the plug. And there's another procedure for doing that. That'll be another follow-up video that we'll do when it comes time to actually replace that plug. So we'll go in here, and so I'll just kind of show you the ink levels. So we pressed home. Now we're going to go down to printer status, and we'll arrow over to ink, arrow over one more time, and now you'll see these are the ink levels of all of the cartridges and adapters that we have in there. So we have 50%, 99, 37. Apparently I need to get some CMYK pretty soon. Along with varnish, that's going to be the next adapter that we replace once our current cartridge runs dry. And then right here, this is our white ink. And since we just installed that, it is at 100%. So that is pretty much it. It makes it really easy. Now, if you're going to go from an adapter back to a cartridge, it's super easy as well for that. All you do is just take the adapter out and then put your cartridge in, and then the printer does the rest. You don't have to do any changes in the setup. Alright, I completed a couple long cleanings and just completed a nozzle check as well, and as you can see, our white ink is flowing perfectly. That is pretty much it. Well, I hope you found the video helpful. If you have any questions, please post those down in a comment and I'll answer them the best that I can. And as always, like and subscribe and have a great day.